What's up guys, it's McKinley Crain here, and today I'm going to be doing my spoiler-free review of Superman and Lois, Season 1, Episode 11, Extended Cut. Now let's get into it. So before I get started, I know that I usually upload my Superman and Lois episode reviews like the day after they come out. So I should have uploaded it yesterday, but like, if you've seen my previous video, you would know that I've been pretty busy this week, so I didn't really have time to, like, make and upload, the review yesterday. Plus, I didn't even have time to watch the episode yesterday. That's what I meant. Yeah, I didn't have time to make and upload the review yesterday, or even watch the episode yesterday. It was between the new episode of Loki and the new episode of Superman and Lois. Like, I was just like, I can only watch one today. Well, yesterday I was saying that, like, I was saying I could only watch one of those today. So, yesterday, I chose to watch the new episode of Loki yesterday. And I had to watch the new episode of Superman and Lois today. So anyway, for those of you who don't already know, Superman and Lois is a recent 2021 drama action show, and it takes place in the Arrowverse, and it's a CW show, and it's about, Superman and Lois as adults, and they're married, and they have teenage sons, and one has powers. That's the basic premise of the show. Now let's talk about the episode itself. Anyway, so this episode stars Tyler Hoechlin as Clark Kent, aka Superman, and Bitsy, aka Elizabeth what I meant to say is, it co-stars Bitsy, aka Elizabeth Tulloch, as Lois Lane. Because in this episode, most of the time is dedicated to Superman himself. He's the main character of this episode. And we get a lot of stuff in this episode, and a lot of stuff I wasn't expecting. This episode was awesome. It was perfect, and it was just so well made, so well done. And this episode kinda tricks you into think you're watching something else. When you start watching it, at the beginning, what I mean by that is, I'm not saying that it tricks you into thinking, oh, I'm not watching the show I think I'm watching. I'm not watching Superman and Lois. I must be watching a different show. No, it tricks you into thinking you're watching a different kind of episode. And then about halfway through, it it kinda reveals itself and reveals why the first half was so necessary, and what it actually, why we were actually seeing it. And let me tell you, I was not expecting what was revealed halfway through. I thought this was a completely different type of episode. Within the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then when they revealed what was actually going on, I was like, oh, didn't see that coming. This episode was awesome. It was fun, it was gripping, it was compelling. There was a lot of strong acting from the whole cast, but you know, the most of the strong acting is from Tyler Hoechlin and Fitzy Tulloch, especially that's what I meant to say, especially Tyler Hoechlin. He just gives the best performance in this episode, and he gives a very strong performance, and Fitzy Tulloch does too, but not as much as he does. The whole cast in this episode all give very strong performances. Well, all gave very strong performances in this episode, but none were quite as perfect as Tyler Hoechlin was. And I just love the direction that this episode went, and I love how like dark it was at certain times, like, and it was also unexpectedly like unsettling at certain times. And it's not like when it was unsettling, it wasn't unsettling in like a bad way. It was unsettling in a good way that benefited this episode's story. And this episode was just a blast to watch. It was just really compelling, really gripping. The story was really gripping. It was really intense. There were like a lot of twists and turns, a lot of like, you know, anticipated moments happened in this episode. We learned a lot about, like, you know, certain characters in the show, in this episode, like their backstories and, like, you know, their motivations. And like this episode has like one of the most shocking endings of, like, you know, this whole series. Like, I mean, I guess I should have seen it coming, and I guess I kind of thought about, like, what happened at the end. Like, I thought, like, a couple episodes back, that could be a possibility, but I just kind of blew it away, like, blew it off. But, oh boy, it happened. And that's not a bad thing either. It's just really intense and shocking and really heavy, if you know what I mean. And this episode was just perfection. It was powerful. It was awesome. This is the best episode yet. This is the best episode of Superman and Lois yet. It's the best episode of the season, and it's the best episode of the whole show. Anyway, I'm going to give this episode a 100% out of a 100%, which is the equivalent of an A+. Like, subscribe, join the notification squad. I will return.